Good morning there, everybody. Gator here, and welcome to another beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. And we're going to be going for a hike at the Crow's Nest Preserve in the Hopewell Big Woods area of Pennsylvania. We're right outside of French Creek State Park, where I'll be spending the night. And I've heard about this preserve before, and I've been wanting to check it out. So we're going to be doing a hike here. Here's the map, and let's see what we see. It's late November, and we are in that transition between fall and winter. It's feeling more like winter now, and off to a little bit of a late start, but I'm ready to go. Let's hit that trail. Let's go for an adventure, guys. Gator out. Now, if you've been following my adventures previously, you'll know that back in late spring, we were not too far from here along the French Creek in St. Peter's Village. We did a review of the trail there. But where we're at now is a few miles further upstream. These are more like the headwaters of French Creek, which, as we had discussed then, is one of the cleaner and special designated riverways in Pennsylvania. So this Crow's Nest Preserve is part of the Natural Lands Trust, and we are following the Yellow Trail, which is said to be 2.5 miles. I'm not sure if that's one way or one way and back, because this is not a loop trail. It's a continuous trail, but we'll find out. I think it's the main trail here, just in case you were wondering about checking it out yourself. Now here's something that's really cool. They got this little free library, they call it. They got a couple books in there and some brochures. And then right over here, they have these chairs. Let me read to you what it says about the Crow's Nest Preserve. It says, "Welcome to Natural Lands Crow's Nest Preserve. More than 600 acres of protected land along French Creek. Its forests are filled with oak, hickory, tulip tree, black gum, beech, and maple trees. The preserve's meadows feature native grasses and wildflowers, and on the crop fields, the tradition of Chester County farming continues. Crow's Nest is part of one of the largest areas of protected land in the region, the Hopewell Big Woods area, which we talked about, and is adjacent to French Creek State Park and Hopewell Furnace National Historic Site." Well, now that I've had a chance to take a break and take a look at the map, it's time to move on and keep pressing forward on the trail. Let's go. Here's a nice little shot of the landscape we've come across thus far. We started roughly down in that direction, made our way through the woods, and then up through the fields here. You can see the rolling hills of southeastern Pennsylvania in the distance, and then traveling through this field here and continuing along. Now this preserve, like most private preserves, is a patchwork of well, there are private residences, I'll say, interspersed here and there. So you will see a house here and there occasionally. Now, the trail map is making reference to this grove of trees directly ahead, calling it Chief's Grove, but they don't look particularly old. So I thought maybe they had a reference to like they were maybe like a historic stand of trees where there was something, you know, related to the Indians that happened, but I can't tell. I'm not really sure. I'll have to check it out when I get home and see if I can find out any information. I'm surprised it's not in the brochure. We're no longer on the yellow trail. We're now following this purple trail, which is simply called the Hopewell Trail. Will apparently lead us to Hopewell Furnace. Let's see. Just continuing along the purple trail here, and we're approaching a road, and I've been hearing shooting all over the place. I'm assuming it's target practice, target range maybe. It's coming from multiple directions though. Almost makes me feel like I'm back in the Revolutionary War period and there's a war going on around me. Pennsylvania, Second Amendment. All right guys, well, we made it through that purple trail and a patch of woodlands, and we're opened up to this field now, and I think we're at the historic Bethesda Church. But we have a building here. Let's check it out. It looks pretty cool. So this is the Bethesda Church, and we're now on National Park Service property. This is part of Hopewell Furnace, and this building was built in 1782 at the end of the American Revolution. That's since been restored. And when the National Park Service acquired the property in 1935, the Bethesda Baptist Church became one of the few religious organizations whose property was owned by the federal government. So this is a very historic old church. Let's see if we can get in and get a closer look. Now, as you can see here, we're getting to some of the really older stones. Look at these stones. This one, I believe it says died in 1835 or 1850. That one 1842. But look at some of the markings on them. What is that exactly? I'm not sure. Huh. Interesting. Very quiet back here. Very peaceful, as it should be. These people who have passed on deserve the respect to be left in peace for their eternal sleep. Beautiful looking stones. This place is pretty well taken care of. I'm sure it's not visited frequently, but it is maintained and taken care of, which is a good thing. Here's a veteran of the First World War, Ernest Truitt, 1895 to 1960. And we thank you for your service. God bless America. Well, there you have it, guys. The historic Bethesda Church. a nice conclusion to our hike today. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That was the hike from the visitor center at the Crow's Nest Preserve to the historic Bethesda Church at the beginning of the property of Hopewell Furnace National Historic Site. And it was a nice hike. Not a ton of scenery, nothing special except for this place, of course, which I didn't know I was going to make it here today, but I decided to go to the extra half a mile or so because it's a nice day. And I'm going to be heading over to the state park now to find myself a campsite and have a nice quiet night in the woods. And this may not be the end of the video, or it may be, depending on what I feel like doing later today. But just want to say what I always say. Thanks for coming along on another adventure. And until next time, I'll see you on the trail. Gator out.